Spider-Man swings through the city when he hears a police scanner crackling over his communicator. He changes course and heads in the direction of the commotion. What could the cops possibly need him for? He finds them gathered around a small figure who lies slumped against a wall. Breathing heavily, it's a kid dressed in a homemade Iron Man suit.
Ho ho ho!
His mask is dented, and his face is smudged with dirt and tears. "Hey, little guy, are you okay?" Spider-Man asks, kneeling down to him. The kid looks up at him with wide, frightened eyes. "I need your help," he stammers. "There's this big bad guy, and he took my friends." Before he can explain further, another police officer scoops him up and comforts him.
Ho ho ho!
"Easy there, champ. We already have things under control," she says. But Spider-Man notices that her voice is tight with worry. He turns to leave, but then the kid shouts, "No, you don't understand. You have to believe me." His words hang in the air, and Spider-Man feels a surge of sympathy for the kid. He might not have any superpowers, but he sure is brave.
Ho ho ho!
So Spider-Man turns back to the kid and asks, "What's your name?" "I'm Ironheart," he says proudly. "And what's this big bad guy you were talking about?" "Doc Ock," Ironheart says, his voice shaking. "He took my friends to his lair and I was too late. He made me crash my suit. Please, you have to save them." Spider-Man looks at the cop who nods curtly before turning away.
Ho ho ho!
She's obviously skeptical of Ironheart's story, but Spider-Man isn't. He knows all too well how terrifying it is to face a villain like Doc Ock, especially if you're not a seasoned superhero yet. He kneels down to Ironheart again and says, "Don't worry, little buddy. I'll save your friends, but first, do you know where Dr. Octopus's lair is?"
Ho ho ho!
Ironheart thinks hard. "I saw him heading into the old abandoned building by the docks," he says finally. "The one with the big crane." Spider-Man thanks him and helps him up. "Now let's go get those friends of yours back. Together." They head towards the abandoned building by the docks. As they approach, Spider-Man can hear shouts and screams echoing from within.
Ho ho ho!
He shivers. Doc Ock must have some kind of army of henchmen with him. He turns to Ironheart, who looks back at him with determination in his eyes. "You stay here, little buddy," Spider-Man says. "It's gonna be a bit dangerous inside. And besides, you're not exactly equipped for a fight." But Ironheart shakes his head. "No. I want to help," he says.
Ho ho ho!
Before Spider-Man can protest, Ironheart rushes past him and disappears inside the building. Spider-Man sighs and follows after him. Inside, he finds a sight that makes his blood boil. Doc Ock is holding 3 kids, each with a superpower, captive. One kid uses telekinesis, another has super strength, and the last one can turn invisible. But they seem to be having trouble controlling their powers.
Ho ho ho!
Well, says Doc Ock, turning around to face Spider-Man. "If it isn't our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Care to join us?" He gestures to the 3 captives, who look terrified. Spider-Man snarls, "Let them go." "Doc Ock," he demands, but Spider-Man can tell by the wicked grin on Doc Ock's face that he won't be so easily persuaded.
Ho ho ho!
And just as he's about to make his move, he hears a familiar voice shout, "Hey, leave them alone." Ironheart stands in front of Spider-Man, his small form dwarfed by Doc Ock, despite the danger. He takes off his helmet, revealing a determined expression on his face. "You don't have to do this." "Ironheart," Spider-Man says, rushing to his side. "Let me handle this."
Ho ho ho!
But Ironheart shakes his head. "No, this is my fight," he says. And with that, he charges forward, blasting Doc Ock with energy from his hands. Spider-Man watches in surprise as Ironheart fights bravely against Doc Ock, distracting him long enough for the other three kids to regain their composure. The telekinetic kid uses his powers to blast Doc Ock, sending him flying backwards.
Ho ho ho!
The super strong kid punches him in the gut, and the invisible kid kicks him in the groin. Doc Ock roars in anger, but he's clearly overwhelmed. He stumbles around trying to attack, but the four kids work together to hold him off. Finally, with a mighty kick from the invisible kid, they send him crashing through the window.
Ho ho ho!
As the four kids stand panting, Ironheart looks up at Spider-Man with a sheepish grin. "Sorry about that, Mr. Spider-Man," he says. "I got a little carried away." Spider-Man laughs and ruffles his hair. "It's okay, buddy," he says. "You did great. Now let's get you and these three home." And with that, Spider-Man swings away with the four young superheroes hanging on for dear life.
Ho ho ho!
They might be young, but they're already learning the valuable lessons of teamwork and courage. Who knows, maybe one day they'll even surpass Spider-Man's powers.
Ho ho ho!